Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Just here to record our weekly worship service, but also to share with you some announcements, some really good announcements. You've probably seen on Facebook or heard through one call that we have finished paying off the fellowship hall. So that is a huge win for the church. Just really great that that's done. Thank you all for your faithfulness in making sure that that's completed. And what an amazing feat to pull off in a normal year, but how much more amazing it is to have that done in 2020. So anyways, that's really good. Looking forward to great things in 2021. Hopefully more normal times in 2021. But also, if you would like, you may give to the general fund by mailing in donations to the church office, or just stopping by the office sometime and dropping them by. We want to keep up that good momentum, and so that way we can ensure that we have really good programs to go along with a really good building. Other than that, I will be emailing out prayer list this upcoming, probably here in the next couple hours. So please be on the lookout for that, and email me if you have any additions you'd like to make, or just anything you'd like to add to our announcements. But anyways, today is Epiphany Sunday. It's reading from Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 12, the very famous story of the wise men. So here it goes. In the time of King Herod, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, asking, "Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we observed his star at its rising, and have come to pay him homage." Now when King Herod heard this, he was frightened, and all of Jerusalem with him, and calling together all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Messiah was to be born. They told him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for so it has been written by the prophet, 'And you, Bethlehem in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel.'" Then Herod secretly called for the wise men and learned from them the exact time where the star had appeared. Then he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, "Go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word so that I may also go and pay him homage." When they had heard the king, they set out, and there ahead of them went the star that they had seen at its rising, until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw that the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. On entering the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they knelt down and paid him homage. Then, opening their treasure chests, they offered him gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they left for their own country by another road. So it's the first Sunday in the new year, and we're not together. And that means that I can't ask you in person what your New Year's resolutions are. And while I can't ask you that in person, I have some good guesses as to what they may be. The popular ones, like eating healthier, reading more, spending less, those seem perennial. They're the resolutions that we make year after year that we never really fully achieve, and therefore we just continue to strive after them. And no wonder that we do. I feel like we all want to be healthy and intelligent and balanced in our lifestyle, And that's why year after year we dust off the blender, the bookshelf, and the budget binder, and we take another stab at the stuff that eludes us. And who am I to judge? I make the exact same resolutions as anyone else. I look at my credit card statement and I see that I could kill two birds with one stone if I cooked something wholesome instead of bought something fried. I look at my bookshelf and see that I could read so much more if I made the time. So I make bold claims year after year saying, this is it. I've had it. I'm a whole new me, and I'm starting off strong. And then I end up making the same promises on the next December 31st. I make the same promises year after year and will this year too out of habit. I know I can improve, and what better time to start than a new year? And especially after a really hard year. I need that optimism to start over, to start fresh, and to set out on another direction in my life. And that's why I like this story of the wise men. They weren't from around Rural Retreat. They dressed and looked and spoke and thought and saw the world differently than I do. They didn't have the same upbringing as me, where church was a given and belief was assumed. They didn't have years and years of being an acolyte, of being in the children's choir and youth group and Sunday school to gradually tell them the story of Jesus like I did. These wise men, they found Jesus by another road. They were seekers with different customs and beliefs, who were brave enough to follow a star, to tell Herod to buzz off, and to change direction and follow Christ. They were brave. I don't know about you, but the hardest thing about this past year for me hasn't been the mask wearing or staying at home. No, the hardest part has been the hate. That pressure cooker feeling that everyone must be sorted into sides, and once we have lumped people into a label, we can choose whether to love or to loathe them, whether to call them idiots or friends. When in truth, the hope that first came in a manger and remains with us still is that Christ's hope can be encountered by all, that none are hopeless, that none can be written off as the other. That we too may do as the wise men did and be overcome by the joy that Christ brings and go home by another way, a way that leads to life instead of division, hope instead of hate. For like those original wise men, we too are seekers looking for something better, looking for an encounter with the living God that changes us perennially. And that is good news to us all. To both the seasoned, pew-warming, scripture-quoting Christian and to the seeker unsure. God came for you and me, the people we love, the people we loathe, the people who look and think and do things differently. He came to open our eyes to an overwhelming joy. And thank God that he did.